Hi there. Welcome to Pathways Unfolding podcast. I'm your host, Özlem Duyan. This podcast is a space for sharing experiences, learning journeys, reflections, and genuine conversations around yoga, Thai massage, wellness, and personal growth. Here, you'll find deep and honest conversations with people who inspire me, people I know personally, friends from these fields, and practitioners at the different stages of their journeys. I'll also be sharing my own reflections, experiences, and learnings along the way. This episode 1 has 2 parts. First part, I talk about my experiences at Thai Massage Sangha Festival 4th edition, June 2026, and in the second part, I share my recent sadhana journey, Maha Mudra. I hope you enjoy. Welcome to part 1, my experience at Thai Massage Sangha Festival. First of all, I want to talk about the general info about the festival. The festival itself has 3 sections: the pre-festival, the main festival, and the post-festival. So the pre-festival was 2 days long, and the main festival 4. The post-festival was only 1 day. So I only joined the main festival from 11th to 14th June. So I only talk about this one. But the pre-festival and also the post-festival workshops was great, but my time doesn't fit that one. I was so sorry about that. Literally. I was seeing all the festival lineup for a while on IG, but I was so occupied, so busy about my daily challenging life. Because of that, I bit almost missed the festival. The when I guess mid-April, I saw the only 4 left. I just immediately I have to sign up the festival right now. So I did it. I am so happy. I thank you to myself. So why I did feel that way? Because of all the teachers on the lineup, I was following them for a while and I was really want to work with them. For me, all of them like the championship league. I was only meet in person with Ale previous year at the Barcelona conference. I was joining her and Eva's Wood Thai workshop. Was amazing, by the way. I love that workshop. So I was so excited. The other teachers, Sandra, Diego, Sebastian, Oliver, Olsa and then Kate. But unfortunately, I couldn't join all the classes. I only joined a couple of them. I feel a bit FOMO, but anyway. First day started when we arrived the venue, Caseria del Mercado, in Cortijo. It started the welcome circle and Vi crew. And the second day started with the meditation at 7 a.m. So continue with the yoga or Mimut classes, then breakfast break, and at 10 with the workshop. So first day I joined Sebastian's workshop Elements and Doshas in Thai massage. The class was quite educational for me because as a yoga teacher, I heard tons about elements, but always I keep a really long distance between me and the elements. I don't want to learn. I don't know why. Maybe they're so exaggerating about the yoga field. So anyway, I didn't want to learn. But that class was quite different. He mentioned about Waikuru and also the Buddhist elemental theory. So after the class, I felt like, yes, I get it now. And I really want to learn more about that one. At the afternoon, I joined Sandra's classes, adaptive Thai massage for diverse bodies, working with size, strength, and resistance. It was one of the classes I've been looking forward to because last year almost all about the recovery journey for myself after having a broken wrist, two fractured bones on my left wrist, and also having a beautiful implant on my radius. Then 6 months later, having right arm muscle tear and also etc. etc. So I was so struggling to using my hands, thumbs and fingers during the massage. So I was looking forward to learn a new tools for adding my toolbox. So I was looking for that one. She was mostly using the Pakoma multipurpose Thai woven cloth for has been used in Thailand for centuries. She will perfectly integrate the Pakoma into her practice, and she also teaches us how to use it. Basically, by wrapping the cloth around the client's limbs, hips, or shoulders, the therapist gains an incredible amount of leverage. And this allows them to execute deeper, high control traction and stretches, especially on the tight lower backs, hips, and spines that would be physically exhausting or impossible to perform using hands alone. So it's perfect for my situation. I am deeply grateful for her. So, second day almost was the similar schedule. We start again with the meditation at 7 a.m. Also was movement classes, but this time I choose my own practice. And after the breakfast, we headed to the first class of the day. I same also joined the Sebastian classes, the 5 layers of the body in the Thai massage, because I also enjoyed the previous class. So I wanted to continue to learn more about traditional figures of the Thai massage. First one, Buddha, and then Dr. Shivago, and the Rusis. The Rusis part, the most interesting part for me because I never heard them before, and also a bit felt relation between the Rusis and the Rishis in yoga tradition. I am not quite sure about the is there a similarities or not at all. But for me, it's a really good subject to learn more about that. So maybe you already wondered why the Rusis kept my attention at all. Because in my yoga practices have similar things. You will listen to the second part, the Maha Mudra. And because of that, the Rusis, Rishis, ascetics, all of them keep my attention. So anyway, maybe I'll talk about more about this subject on the part two. So the afternoon class, I joined Alea's class about Rebozo and Pacoma. I truly love that classes so much. The previous day, I just met Pacoma with Sandra, but that day, Ale took that conversation and going to more deeper layers, more the further, and I love that. Also, using the rebozo and the pakama during the Thai massage, I think it's an amazing tool. So, luckily, uh, these two clothes are traditional one, pakama from Thailand and rebozo from Mexico. So, with me and I have our traditional cloth, which is peştemal in Turkish. We mostly use in the Turkish hammam, Turkish bath. Maybe you have familiar things about the hammam culture or not. But basically, the peştemal using like a sarong to cover on the body during the hammam session. Also, recently we use the peştemal for um, beach towel. So because of that, the peştemal I carry an peştemal with me for the beaches. Um, so I break into the classes basically when I learn about the traditional aspects about the Thu, Rebazo, and the Pakoma. I realized, oh, I have also very similar traditional clothes with me. So, uh, Ale, thank you for that reminder. Maybe I keep using peştemal for that time because why not? The last day, I joined uh, Diego's classes, the 6 wins in the Thai medicine. Um, it was quite intense class for me as a receiver, but the giver as a learning part was amazing. Um, his approach to the viscera, the abdominal massage was amazing. Um, I guess I need to practice more and then can apply it to my sessions. So there was so much more than the classes, the people all around the world, more than 20 countries. And we were there, how many? Maybe about 70, 75 people. Was amazing. I mean, when I was in Granada, I was trying to arrange a transportation. I thought the festival venue, yes, probably somewhere far away, but I didn't expect such far away in the highland. Basically, we were in the highlands. The venue was beautiful. The places, the peacocks. I'm quite familiar the peacock voices from the India, the Kerala, but um, yeah, I also remember my days in Kerala. Anyway, I love that peacocks, and um, I'm going to a bit personal. Um, just a couple of days before the festival, I was finished my 4 months long huge practices Maha Mudra. And after that, I was with karma drama turbulence. So, and of course, I was continued to my meditation practices, Raja Yoga, but it was quite intense for me. So, during the festival, there was so much touch, so much human content, connections, and those kind of things triggered us, and it should be that way. I mean, it has to be. And there is no problem with triggering. The problem, it starts when no one can hold us. But such places and like-minded people, and also almost everyone has a therapist background or bodywork or yoga or very familiar fields, basically they know how to co-regulate a human, which is very precious, very precious. The healing only be in a safe space. So the festival for me, the people, the places were quite safe space. So I am nothing but grateful for them. I am truly thank you to each one of you for amazing sports. Also, I have wonderful conversations with the people, and a couple of them also had similar experiences. And I also talk about my experiences, and it's quite nice to remind it to each other. We are human and we have a human experiences. We felt so much emotions, hold so much experiences. And when we feel safe, it's start flowing, which is wonderful, literally. And I want to mention about one of my yoga teacher, Berwan, a couple of days ago shared a post on IG. I translated to English, and quote unquote, she mentioned to everyone who in a space holder, a source of support, and a creator of safe spaces also needs to be held, because we can only give what we have first received. We can only truly guide others along the path we have walked, experienced, and integrated within ourselves. There was a scan from Superman, and Lois Lane was falling as Superman caught her and said, "I got you." Lois looked at him and replied, "You got me. But who's got you?" If your work involves supporting others, here's a question for you. Who holds you? What holds you? What places, practices, or people remind your nervous system what safety feels like? Since we are not Superman, we all need someone to hold us too. Um, Thank you for Bedouin for these perfectly matching words. I love her. I really feel amazing. Because when we're experiencing such things and feeling so much emotions, and when during the trainings, during the classes, just all of a sudden, when they flow through, and your friend and yourself, how to learn create a safe space, holding a safe space. At the same time, when you well anchored your center, your core, but being in your center still allow you to see their emotions, their situation, and you feel very compassionate about them. When we experience such things, and then when you turn back to your place, your daily life, when you give a session to someone you know or don't know, you know what to do when arises such moments. I think that's one of the precious things I got from the festival. So I truly thank you. And I want to add one thing more. Learning to choose yourself, it really takes time. When you surrounded like-minded, uplifting, incredible human beings, you basically felt so overwhelmed easily if you have ADHD, CPTSD, or such neurodivergencies. It's quite easy to get the hijack. So I felt that one. So because of this, I was needed to return to my own practice, like taking a refuge or something like that. So second and the third morning practices, I turned to my own practice, which felt quite nice because even such places, I can create my own space and I don't feel guilty about it because you're prioritizing your needs, which was wonderful. And yeah, I feel seen, I feel heard, I feel understood, I feel rejuvenated, strengthened, and unconditional loved. Thank you. So, there will be the fifth edition for the Thai Massage Sangha Festival in this November 2026. I am not quite sure. I would love to join, but in my situation right now, I'm not quite sure. But I am looking forward to next summer. If it would be a sixth edition, I will be there. Thank you for listening, guys. I want to thank you once again to each one of you to creating, co-creating such spaces to feel safe, to feel supported, to feel seen. And I am truly honored to meet each one of you. You are amazing human beings. I hope uh, you'll keep doing whatever you've been doing because you are really, really good at that. Thank you for listening for this part. See you soon at the part two. Hello, guys, from the part two to talking about my sadhana, my practice. Um, how long I've been doing the yoga asana practices? It's been 13 years, I guess. Mostly, I choose the traditional practices. Um, after many, many years, I landed perfectly to traditional hatha yoga from Shrividya lineage. It's been, I guess, 3 years now. Um, I felt after the first or second class, now I found my place in yoga. Yes, I've been there and going to deep and deep and deep. So I love traditional hatha yoga from I'm truly grateful to my teacher, Octavio Salvado, the practice from Bali. Uh, how can I say? I firstly mentioned about the general idea what I experienced, and then I started to talk about my recent practices, Maha Mudra. For me, to talking about Tantric Hatha Yoga, the traditional way one, is a bit easy when I use uh, this example, my practice experiences about uh, in 3 years ago, I started with the moon, sun, fire practices. It took over 200 days and no days off. So I show up every single day, every morning to do my practices. And after that, over 200 days, the changes on my mind, on my showing up for myself in the life, and my loved ones, in working places, of the mat part, basically, not on the mat part. It was quite different, quite amazing. I had 6 years psychotherapy, and that 200 days was equal to almost almost equal to my 6 years of psychotherapy. So that was truly, truly amazing. So it was real deal, guys. If you want to try, if you want to learn more about traditional hatha yoga, I highly recommend to my teacher. I'm not here to sell, but I'm just saying. I'm just saying. If you want to learn more, just check the practice Bali. So the Maha Mudra, one of the pinnacle, one of the fundamental practices of hatha yoga. Um, if you have general idea about yoga and the yoga studios in the Western, maybe you cannot see about Mahamudra. If you very familiar about the traditional hatha yoga, if you have see or heard about hatha yoga pradipika or such traditional texts, you may seen, you may heard about Mahamudra. As a asana shape looks like what was the name of the asana? Jan Shirshasana, or head to knee pose, or seated head to knee forward bend. But actually not that one. Looks familiar, but not. During the asana, you continue to pranayama practice and breath retention, which is kumbhaka, and also using the mula bandha, jalandhara bandha, and uddiyana bandha, which is quite intense practices. So it is not for beginners. So it is only for sincere practitioners who continue their practices daily basis for a really long time and have to learn cultivate their prana. Um, it is all about mastering about your own body, your own prana, basically. So maybe the upcoming episodes, I talk about hatha yoga and also the traditional aspects or the newbies and so on. But this time, I keep in conversation only about my practices. So, um, in the first part, I mentioned about my last year was almost all about the recovery from the fractioning to bones, then muscle tear, and so on. Um, but before that, I was I was in the Rudrani practices, basically the advanced Hatha Yoga practices. So physically, I was prepared, but after the surgery, I mean, 2 weeks later, the surgery, I was joined to Rudrani Yagna ritual. Um, I am not recommend to anyone to join just 2 weeks later the surgery, going to such an intense trainings, no, or workshops, no. I just talk about my experiences. So don't do what I did, okay? But I realized the Rudrani, it's really helped me to heal from inside to out, from all layers, from the dense part of to the all the subtle ones. So I am deeply, deeply grateful for that. When I feel physically okay, it's been 4 months ago, I started to fire practices again, physically, the asana practices, I mean. So during the asana part, basically, you cultivate your duration on the Maha Mudra. And the first couple of weeks, only to getting familiar with the poses physically, and then getting deeper and deeper, adding some pranayama, adding some breath attention, and also at the same time cultivating your duration periods from 1 minute to 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 6 minutes, 7 minutes. When I was finished there, Maha Mudra per side 13 minutes. So what does it mean actually? It means you started asana practices for warm-ups, for prepare yourself to Maha Mudra, specific sequences basically, for cultivating your prana, and then sit one side for a couple of minutes and keep doing it at least a 1 week. So if you are in the right side for 6 minutes and left side for 6 minutes, so doing this practice for a week, every day, every single day. And the following week, you extending 1 minute more. So I started with the preparation and then 1 minute to the 30 minutes. Um, the physical part was challenging, truly, but I truly enjoy. I am totally okay with any kind of physical challenges. I really love. So, but the real challenge is mind. The real challenge is happening off the mat. I don't know why. It's all the time. The fascinating part for me is the off the mat part, because you changing your frequency, you're changing your energy level, you're changing your prana, and the result is incredible. You're creating yourself again and again and again. And I couldn't grateful to all the rishis, all the sages from for thousands and thousands of years to cultivating such beautiful, beautiful yogic science. And now in 2026, I practice and still have similar effects. It is incredible. Yoga is truly a science, and you learn how to use it. And then the result is amazing, guys. I hope you try and see your own life. In here I want to mention about the off the mat part because I feel like I started reading a book from the middle. Because of that, I don't want to talk about the technical parts because if you don't have similar practices, it sounds like a bit nonsense. So I don't want to bore you anymore. So from February 2 to June 7, it was really amazing time for me. I couldn't count how many things change in my life. Uh, the practice in Rudrani, it's quite amazing. Rudrani, which means the transformational fire, basically, we can say that. Rudrani is a sacred fire to transform your lower mind, to burn down all the blockages, and after that it's you can easily, not easily, I'm just joking, you can reach that higher mind. So my life was exactly like this. So Rudrani burned down all the glass ceilings, walls, everything, and I feel is was I was in the middle of the hell, basically. But in the middle of the hell, it feels so safe, so serene. It's really hard to describe, you guys. When you sit down on place and you're truly feel in your center, and when you open your eyes and look around and you see the hell, literally the hell. Everything is burning down, everything is crashing, huge angry people, but you feel only amazing things. And you feel now is the time my old patterns burn down and I feel free. Yes, that was the feeling I felt. And after that, I only feel wrapped around unconditional love and courage by the Divine Mother, which is mesmerizing. Feeling that divine love is amazing. So, but after that, I was almost the last 2 days. I was start crying in the middle of the meditation. I couldn't stop to myself. I was bit karma drama turbulence. Also, because of the traveling situation in Spain, I couldn't find proper spaces for continuing to my asana practice. So because of that, I continue to my meditation and pranayama practices, which is Raja Yoga. And this time kicked in the festival time. Ta-da! So during the festival, because of that, I was so emotional, so ready to be triggered, basically. But because of that, I was a bit mentioned about the first part. It was really good to be there, to be in safe space, to be surrounded like-minded people, the people who knows how to hold a space, how to co-regulate sound. It was really amazing. So when I was turned back to Istanbul, I started to my next sadhana, which is Mudra. This is different kind of tapas. This is different kind of asana practices. And I just completed my first week. Um, it was amazing to have an Mudras because the sadhana finally rebalanced me. So I will be there at least 40 days, and probably I continue to another 40 days, and then another one, and then another one. When you working with the mudras, the working part is not like doing any kind of asana in the studio. It's basically in this section of the advanced hatha yoga, you do less asana, more mudra. Less asana, which means only you do a warm-ups, almost none standing poses, mostly on the mat and sitting or other warm-up asanas, and then cultivate your prana onto the mudras and continue with the pranayama and the Raja Yoga meditation. So this is my practice now. I really quite enjoy doing it because I know the result will be quite different. Even I couldn't imagine right now. So I do yoga not for shaping my body. I do yoga for shaping my mind, basically, shaping my frequency, shaping my pranic field. I really love to shape in my body, and I use gym sessions. I use functional exercises for that. But shaping my mind and shaping my frequency is my prioritize. So because of this, I've been doing every single day, no day off, a yoga practice. So if you are still here, if you are still listening to me, I am thank you, truly thank you, because talking about my practice is a bit difficult to me because um there is not much people working on such things, but I saw many people from our sangha also continued doing this. They really inspired me when I saw them in social media or when I've been in Bali and during the studio sessions. I love to be there. It's quite different. Being like-minded sadhaks or like-minded yoga practitioner with you at the same studio. And at that time, when you practice such fire practices, Rudrani or Maha Mudra, it's the prana is quite different. And you and I easily hang over If there is such a thing, spiritual hangover, I'll be, and I love to be spiritual hangover. And once again, I truly thank you to my teacher Octavio for keep teaching this incredible, this amazing science. I'm truly grateful. Thank you. And thank you for listening. In the following episodes, I want to talk about more Hatha Yoga and moon practices, sun practices, Chandra Sadhana, Surya Sadhana, and Rudrani more. So, thank you and see you soon.